The year is 1918. World War I has ended. Europe lies in ruins. Millions of soldiers are dead. Cities are destroyed. Families are broken. The world hopes for peace. Leaders promise a better future. People believe war will never return. But history has other plans. Peace talks begin in Paris. Victorious nations gather together. Germany is not invited equally. Anger fills the conference halls. Revenge replaces forgiveness. A dangerous treaty is prepared. This treaty will shape the future. It will decide the fate of nations. It will plant seeds of hatred. These seeds will grow into war. The world does not realize the danger. Leaders celebrate false peace. The defeated nation suffers silently. Germany feels humiliated. Its people feel betrayed. Hunger spreads slowly. Hope begins to die. Democracy becomes weak. Extremism finds opportunity. Dictators wait patiently. The road to World War II begins here. Not in 1939. But in broken promises. In unfair decisions. In human pride. In fear and anger. This is the story of causes. This is the story of mistakes. This is the story of World War II. This is where it all began. Treaty of Versailles, lines 41 to 120. In 1919, peace negotiations begin. The location is Versailles, France. World leaders gather in luxury halls. Germany stands alone. Germany is blamed for the war. No shared responsibility is accepted. The war guilt clause is introduced. Germany is declared fully responsible. This clause shocks the German people. Heavy reparations are imposed. Germany must pay billions. Its economy cannot handle the burden. German industries collapse. Taxes increase sharply. Common people suffer most. Germany loses its colonies. Valuable land is taken away. The Rhineland is demilitarized. The German army is limited. Only 100,000 soldiers are allowed. Tanks are banned. Air Force is forbidden. Navy is reduced. National security is weakened. Germany feels defenseless. Soldiers feel dishonored. Veterans feel betrayed. National pride is destroyed. Protests erupt in cities. The Weimar government struggles. Democracy looks weak. Political instability increases. People blame politicians. The treaty becomes a symbol of shame. It is called a diktat. Germans believe it was forced. Hatred grows slowly. Revenge becomes a dream. Extremist parties gain support. Peace turns into punishment. International community ignores warnings. France seeks security. Britain seeks balance. Justice is forgotten. The treaty fails to create peace. Instead, it creates anger. This anger waits for leadership. Someone to speak for the people. Someone to promise greatness. Someone dangerous. The treaty remains unchanged. Its impact deepens every year. German youth grow up angry. They are taught humiliation. They dream of revenge. Europe ignores the signs. The wounds remain open. The treaty becomes the first cause. A cause written on paper, but felt in blood. The German economy collapses. Inflation spirals out of control. Money loses its value. Prices rise daily. Bread becomes expensive. People carry money in baskets. Savings disappear overnight. Middle class is destroyed. Poverty spreads rapidly. Unemployment rises. Factories shut down. Workers lose jobs. Families lose homes. Children go hungry. Crime increases. Desperation fills the streets. Faith in democracy weakens. Government seems helpless. Politicians argue endlessly. People demand strong leadership. The Great Depression strikes in 1929. The crisis spreads worldwide. American banks collapse. German loans are recalled. Economy crashes again. Millions are unemployed. Soup kitchens appear. Bread lines grow longer. Despair becomes common. Democracy feels like a failure. Extremists offer simple answers. They blame enemies. They promise solutions. People listen carefully. Fear controls decisions. Hope fades slowly. The poor seek protection. The angry seek revenge. The nation seeks strength. This environment creates danger. A perfect stage for dictators. Economic pain fuels hatred. Hatred fuels extremism. Extremism fuels war. The cycle continues. Europe stands at a crossroads. Peace or power? Democracy or dictatorship? Fear chooses power. The world watches silently. A new leader rises in Germany. His name will change history. He speaks with passion. He promises recovery. He promises pride. He promises revenge. Millions believe him. His rise begins now. The final cause takes shape. The rise of dictators. World War II moves closer. The warning signs are clear, but ignored. History prepares to repeat itself. The stage is set. The actors are ready. The world remains unaware. War waits patiently. The clock is ticking. The silence is temporary. The storm is coming. And it will change everything. This is only the beginning. The darkest chapter lies ahead. Humanity stands on the edge. One decision away from disaster. The causes are complete. The consequences will be deadly. The world will burn again. World War II approaches. Germany searches for a savior. People feel lost and angry. Political chaos spreads everywhere. Many parties fight for power. No party brings stability. Fear dominates daily life. In this chaos, a man rises. His name is Adolf Hitler. He is a powerful speaker. His words ignite emotions. He promises national revival. He promises jobs and bread. He promises to destroy the treaty. He blames Germany's enemies. He blames Jews and minorities. His message is simple. His message is dangerous. Crowds grow larger every day. Nazi Party gains popularity. Swastika flags fill the streets. Propaganda spreads everywhere. Newspapers support Hitler. Radio spreads his voice. Youth are inspired by nationalism. Violence becomes political. Nazi stormtroopers attack opponents. Fear silences critics. Democracy weakens further. In 1933, Hitler is appointed chancellor. People celebrate with hope. They believe he will save Germany. Hitler moves quickly. He uses laws to gain control. The Reichstag fire occurs. Communists are blamed. Emergency powers are granted. Civil liberties are suspended. Opposition parties are banned. Trade unions are destroyed. One-party rule begins. Democracy officially ends. Germany becomes a dictatorship. Hitler becomes absolute leader. The title Führer is adopted. Loyalty is demanded. Dissent is punished. Fear replaces freedom. Concentration camps are opened. Political prisoners are arrested. Terror becomes state policy. Nazi ideology controls education. Children are taught obedience. Youth groups train future soldiers. History is rewritten. Hatred is normalized. Militarism is glorified. War is presented as honor. Germany begins rearming secretly. Treaty rules are ignored. Factories produce weapons. Army grows rapidly. Air Force is rebuilt. World watches nervously. But does nothing. Appeasement becomes policy. Hitler gains confidence. Each success encourages aggression. National pride returns. Economy improves through war spending. Unemployment decreases. Support for Hitler increases. People ignore warning signs. Fear is disguised as unity. Silence becomes complicity. Germany is transformed. From victim to aggressor. The dictator is ready. The army is loyal. The people are controlled. The path to war is clear. Hitler dreams of expansion. He seeks Lebensraum. Eastern Europe becomes the target. The first steps are taken. The world still hesitates. History moves forward blindly. War draws closer. The fuse is burning. The explosion is inevitable. Germany stands prepared. Dictatorship is complete. Peace is no longer the goal. Power is everything. Fear fuels obedience. Obedience fuels destruction. One man controls a nation. One nation threatens the world. The balance of peace breaks. Europe trembles again. World War II is approaching. War waits patiently. The clock is ticking. The silence is temporary. The storm is coming. And it will change everything. This is only the beginning. The darkest chapter lies ahead. Humanity stands on the edge, one decision away from disaster. The causes are complete. The consequences will be deadly. The world will burn again. World War II approaches. Nazi ideology dominates society. Aryan supremacy is taught. Racism becomes official policy. Jews are isolated. Laws restrict their rights. Businesses are boycotted. Violence increases steadily. Kristallnacht shocks the world. Synagogues are burned. Jewish homes are destroyed. Thousands are arrested. The world condemns softly. No strong action follows. Hitler learns a lesson. Aggression has no punishment. Germany annexes Austria. Anschluss is celebrated. No resistance is met. Confidence grows rapidly. Czechoslovakia is threatened. Sudetenland is demanded. Appeasement continues. Munich Agreement is signed. Peace is promised again. Promises are broken quickly. Czechoslovakia is occupied. Europe realizes the danger. But it is too late. Hitler prepares for war. Military plans are finalized. Poland becomes the next target. Alliances are formed. Dictators support each other. Democracy stands divided. Fear delays action. Courage comes too late. Germany feels unstoppable. The army trusts victory. The people trust the Führer. Propaganda hides the truth. Opposition no longer exists. War economy is active. Europe holds its breath. A single decision remains. Attack or restraint. Hitler chooses attack. The final countdown begins. The causes are complete. The spark is ready. The fire will spread. The world stands at dawn of another catastrophe. Peace collapses entirely. Diplomacy fails completely. Weapons speak louder. Reason is abandoned. Humanity repeats mistakes. History turns dark again. War becomes inevitable. The invasion is planned. The armies are ready. The borders are crossed soon. Sirens will sound. Bombs will fall. Millions will suffer. The cost will be unbearable. All warnings are ignored. The dictator advances. The world follows helplessly. World War II begins soon. Not suddenly, but carefully prepared. Step by step. Decision by decision. Silence by silence. Mistake by mistake. The second cause is complete. The rise of dictatorship. The fall of freedom. The triumph of fear. The path is irreversible. History moves forward. Toward destruction. Toward suffering. Toward war. The next chapter awaits. Beyond Germany. Beyond Europe. Across the world. Other dictators rise. Italy follows fascism. Japan follows militarism. Global conflict expands. The storm spreads worldwide. Humanity faces its test. The darkest hour approaches. The stage is global now. The war will be total. The consequences unimaginable. The world steps into chaos. Germany is not alone in extremism. Italy follows a similar path. Italy feels betrayed after World War I. Promised lands are not fully received. Economic problems grow rapidly. Unemployment spreads across cities. Workers protest against the government. Farmers struggle to survive. Democracy appears weak in Italy. Fear of communism increases. People want strong leadership. A new leader rises in Italy. His name is Benito Mussolini. He promises order and strength. He introduces fascism. Fascism rejects democracy. Fascism glorifies the nation. Violence is used as a political tool. Black shirts attack opponents. Fear spreads through the streets. In 1922, Mussolini marches on Rome. The government gives up power. Mussolini becomes prime minister. Democracy slowly disappears. Political parties are banned. Media is controlled by the state. Mussolini becomes a dictator. He calls himself Il Duce. Italy becomes a one-party state. Nationalism is aggressively promoted. Roman Empire is glorified. Italians are taught pride and obedience. Youth are trained for war. Military strength is celebrated. War is seen as glory. Mussolini dreams of expansion. Africa becomes his target. Ethiopia is invaded in 1935. The attack is brutal. Chemical weapons are used. Civilians suffer greatly. The League of Nations condemns Italy. But punishment is weak. Sanctions fail completely. Mussolini learns aggression works. International law appears powerless. Italy grows bolder. Fascism gains confidence. Italy aligns with Germany. Dictators support each other. Rome-Berlin axis is formed. Europe becomes more unstable. Italy leaves the League of Nations. Peace efforts collapse further. Militarism grows stronger. Propaganda controls public opinion. Italians are prepared for war. Opposition is silenced. Fear replaces debate. Loyalty is demanded. Mussolini follows Hitler's lead. Aggression becomes policy. Mediterranean becomes a battlefield plan. Italy prepares for conflict. Fascism spreads influence. The world remains divided. Democracies hesitate again. Another warning is ignored. War moves closer. The Axis grows stronger. Italy is no longer neutral. It chooses power over peace. Dictatorship reshapes Europe. Violence becomes normalized. The balance of power shifts. Peace weakens further. Italy stands ready. Mussolini seeks glory. Expansion becomes destiny. The cost is ignored. Humanity pays the price. Fascism spreads fear. Freedom disappears. Europe darkens. Another front prepares for war. But danger is not only in Europe. A new threat rises in Asia. Militarism awakens Japan. The conflict becomes global. The storm expands outward. Italy plays its part. Fascism proves contagious. Dictators inspire dictators. Aggression spreads rapidly. Peace is losing everywhere. War becomes unavoidable. The world ignores lessons again. History repeats its pattern. Italy joins the march to war. Another fuse is lit. Across the world, Japan faces crisis. Japan lacks natural resources. Population grows rapidly. Industrial needs increase. Leaders seek expansion. Military gains political power. Democracy weakens in Japan. Generals dominate decision-making. Militarism becomes ideology. Emperor is used as a symbol. Obedience is demanded. War is portrayed as duty. Expansion is called survival. China becomes the target. Manchuria is invaded in 1931. A puppet state is created. The League of Nations protests. Japan ignores criticism. Japan leaves the League. Aggression continues unchecked. Full invasion of China begins. Cities are destroyed. Civilians are massacred. The Nanjing massacre shocks history. Millions suffer silently. The world condemns weakly. No strong action follows. Japan learns a lesson. Force brings success. Asia becomes unstable. Japan dreams of empire. Southeast Asia attracts attention. Oil and rubber are needed. Western colonies block expansion. Tensions rise with the West. Japan feels threatened. Militarists demand action. Diplomacy loses influence. War planning begins secretly. Alliance with Germany forms. Axis powers expand globally. Three nations unite by force. Germany in Europe. Italy in the Mediterranean. Japan in Asia. The world becomes divided. Peace collapses globally. Local conflicts merge. Regional wars connect. A world war forms slowly. No single moment defines it. It grows step by step. Mistake by mistake. Silence by silence. Aggression by aggression. Democracies remain cautious. Fear delays resistance. Time favors dictators. Militarism reshapes nations. Humanity moves toward disaster. Asia prepares for flames. Europe prepares for invasion. Africa prepares for conquest. The globe becomes a battlefield. War becomes unavoidable. The causes are complete. Treaties failed. Economies collapsed. Dictators rose. Aggression spread. Peace had no defenders. The final spark remains. Only one action is needed. One invasion. One decision. One moment. The world holds its breath. History stands still briefly. Then moves violently forward. The invasion of Poland nears. Alliances prepare to act. Armies stand ready. Borders are watched closely. Diplomacy makes last attempts. But trust is gone. Promises mean nothing. Weapons decide fate now. Humanity steps into darkness. World War II is moments away. The final chapter begins next. The causes have done their work. The world failed to prevent it. History prepares to judge. Millions will pay the price. The storm is unstoppable now. Silence ends. War speaks next. The world crosses the line. The conflict ignites. World War II begins. The year is 1939. Europe stands on edge. Diplomacy has failed completely. Trust between nations is gone. Germany prepares for action. Military plans are finalized. The target is Poland. Hitler demands territory. Poland refuses to surrender. Tension reaches breaking point. On September 1, 1939. German forces cross the border. The invasion begins suddenly. Tanks roll forward rapidly. Aircraft bomb Polish cities. Civilians flee in fear. Roads fill with refugees. The strategy is blitzkrieg. Fast and overwhelming attack. Polish defenses struggle. Communication breaks down. Cities fall quickly. Warsaw is heavily bombed. Homes are destroyed. Families are separated. Fear spreads everywhere. The world watches in shock. This time, silence ends. Britain issues warnings. France prepares to act. Diplomacy makes final attempts. Germany ignores all warnings. Aggression continues without pause. Britain declares war. France follows immediately. World War II officially begins. A global conflict erupts. Peace is shattered forever. The war spreads rapidly. Alliances are activated. Europe divides into camps. Axis versus Allies. Civilians realize reality. Another world war has begun. Memories of World War I return. Fear grips entire nations. Mobilization begins everywhere. Factories switch to weapons. Soldiers are called to serve. Families say goodbye again. Children watch fathers leave. Trains carry troops east and west. Borders close tightly. Freedom of movement ends. War reshapes daily life. Blackouts begin at night. Sirens become common. Governments take emergency powers. Civil liberties are reduced. Survival becomes priority. Poland fights bravely. But resources are limited. Allies cannot help quickly. Poland stands alone. The invasion continues. Cities fall one by one. The army retreats slowly. Civilians suffer the most. Infrastructure collapses. Poland's fate is sealed. Another force enters from the east. The Soviet Union invades Poland. The country is divided. Poland disappears from the map. The world is horrified. Dictators cooperate secretly. Treaties are ignored again. International law collapses. Power decides borders. Humanity pays the cost. Poland becomes the first victim. Millions are displaced. Families lose homes. Lives are destroyed instantly. War shows its true face. Brutality becomes normal. The conflict expands rapidly. Europe enters darkness. Neutrality becomes impossible. Nations choose sides. The war is no longer local. It is continental. Soon, it will be global. The world holds its breath. Violence spreads daily. Hope fades quickly. History accelerates. Humanity steps deeper into chaos. World War II has begun. And there is no turning back. The early months are tense. Fighting pauses in the West. This period is called the phony war. Soldiers wait anxiously. Civilians fear sudden attacks. Propaganda fills newspapers. Nations prepare secretly. Germany plans further expansion. Denmark is invaded. Norway is invaded next. Control of seas is crucial. German forces move efficiently. Resistance is limited. Europe is shocked again. In 1940, the West is attacked. Germany invades the Netherlands. Belgium is attacked. France becomes the main target. Allied defenses collapse quickly. Blitzkrieg proves effective again. French forces retreat. British troops withdraw. Dunkirk evacuation begins. Soldiers escape by sea. Civilians help bravely. Europe watches nervously. France surrenders. Paris falls to Germany. The continent is dominated. Britain stands alone. An island under threat. German air attacks begin. The Battle of Britain starts. Cities are bombed nightly. London burns. Civilians hide in shelters. Morale is tested severely. Britain refuses to surrender. Air battles rage in the sky. Pilots fight daily. Losses are heavy. Courage becomes essential. Britain survives the assault. Germany fails to invade. The war reaches a stalemate. New strategies are planned. Germany looks eastward. A larger invasion is planned. Operation Barbarossa is prepared. The Soviet Union becomes the target. The scale of war increases. Millions more will fight. The conflict expands massively. Technology advances rapidly. Tanks grow stronger. Aircraft grow deadlier. Submarines hunt ships. Civilians face shortages. Rationing becomes common. Daily life changes everywhere. Women enter factories. Children adapt quickly. Fear becomes routine. Hope depends on survival. The war economy grows. Science serves destruction. Neutral nations feel pressure. The world is drawn in slowly. No continent is untouched. The cost rises daily. Casualties increase rapidly. The war loses limits. Rules are ignored. Morality fades. Hatred deepens. Violence escalates. Humanity struggles to endure. The causes now show results. Decisions made years earlier return. Treaties failed to protect peace. Appeasement proved dangerous. Dictators feel unstoppable. The war enters its deadliest phase. The future is uncertain. The world waits anxiously. Victory feels distant. Defeat feels possible everywhere. The conflict reshapes history. Nations are transformed. Borders will change again. Millions will not return home. Sacrifice becomes universal. The war continues endlessly. The final chapters are yet to come. Humanity faces its greatest test. Survival becomes the goal. Peace feels like a dream. The world is fully at war. Nothing will ever be the same. History enters its darkest era. The war spreads beyond Europe. Africa becomes a battlefield. The Middle East gains strategic importance. Asia is already burning. Japan continues its expansion. Western powers feel threatened. Tensions rise in the Pacific. Diplomacy fails once again. On December 7, 1941, Japanese planes attack Pearl Harbor. The United States is shocked. Battleships burn in the harbor. Hundreds are killed instantly. America declares war. The conflict becomes truly global. Industry shifts to total war. Factories work day and night. Weapons are produced endlessly. Soldiers are sent across oceans. The world is fully engaged. Germany declares war on America. Alliances harden completely. Neutrality disappears worldwide. Europe fights relentlessly. Asia suffers continuously. Africa becomes contested ground. Oceans turn into battle zones. Submarines attack supply lines. Cities face constant bombing. Civilians are no longer safe. Air raids destroy neighborhoods. Firestorms consume cities. Families lose everything. Refugees move endlessly. Hunger becomes common. Disease spreads rapidly. Fear dominates daily life. Propaganda fuels hatred. Enemies are dehumanized. Violence becomes routine. Moral limits collapse. Prisoners suffer terribly. War crimes increase everywhere. Humanity reaches its darkest point. The Holocaust unfolds in secrecy. Millions are murdered systematically. The world remains unaware. Or chooses not to act. Entire communities vanish. History records unimaginable cruelty. The cost of hatred becomes clear. War shows its true nature. Not glory, but suffering. Not honor, but destruction. The fighting continues relentlessly. Battles decide the future. Stalingrad becomes a turning point. The tide begins to change. Normandy landings open a new front. Allied forces push forward. Liberation begins slowly. Cities are freed one by one. But the cost remains high. Graves cover the land. The world is exhausted. Yet the fighting continues. Dictators refuse surrender. Total victory becomes the goal. There is no compromise. Only survival. Only defeat or victory. Humanity waits for an end. But suffering continues. The final battles approach. The war nears its conclusion. But not without a final price. The darkest weapons remain. History prepares its final lesson. End of War and Consequences, lines 881 to 950. In 1945, Germany collapses. Berlin lies in ruins. Hitler is dead. The Nazi regime ends. Europe celebrates cautiously. But the war is not over. Japan continues fighting. The Pacific War intensifies. Island battles cost thousands of lives. Civilians suffer immensely. The world seeks an end. A new weapon is introduced. Atomic bombs are dropped. Hiroshima is destroyed instantly. Nagasaki follows shortly after. Unimaginable devastation occurs. Japan surrenders. World War II ends officially. Silence replaces explosions. Survivors look around in disbelief. Over 60 million are dead. Cities are destroyed globally. Economies are shattered. Families are broken forever. Europe lies exhausted. Asia struggles to recover. Africa bears silent scars. The world is changed forever. Old empires weaken. New superpowers rise. Borders are redrawn again. Nations reflect on mistakes. The cost of hatred is clear. The cost of silence is clear. The cost of fear is clear. Leaders promise never again. A new organization is formed. It is called the United Nations. Its goal is peace. Its mission is cooperation. Its existence is a lesson. Democracy gains importance. Human rights gain value. The world seeks balance. Cold War tensions appear soon. Peace remains fragile. History does not end. But lessons are written. War begins with injustice. War grows with fear. War explodes with silence. The causes are remembered. Treaties must be fair. Economies must protect people. Dictators must be stopped early. Silence must be broken. Humanity must choose wisely. The future depends on memory. Forgetting invites repetition. Remembering offers hope. The past speaks clearly. Listen carefully. The cost of ignoring history is war. The price is paid by the innocent. Children suffer most. Humanity bears the scars. The lesson is written in blood. Never ignore injustice. Never glorify hatred. Never forget World War II. This was not just a war. It was a failure of humanity. A failure of leadership. A failure of courage. World War II did not begin suddenly. It was built step by step. By unfair treaties. By economic suffering. By the rise of dictators. By silence of the world. The responsibility was shared. The consequences were global. History gives us a choice. Learn from the past. Or repeat it. Peace is not automatic. It must be protected. Justice must be defended. Humanity must speak. Before it is too late. This story is a warning. For every generation. For every nation. For every leader. Remember the causes. Remember the victims. Remember the cost. History is watching. The future is waiting. Choose wisely. Because silence is dangerous. Hatred is powerful. But understanding is stronger. This was World War II. A lesson written in fire. A lesson written in loss. A lesson written in humanity's pain. Let it not be forgotten. Let it not be repeated. The story ends here. But its message remains. Peace is a responsibility. Shared by all. Across borders. Across generations. Across history. This was the past. The future is in our hands. Remember. Never again.